Their survival instincts were there, and then they were just gone. 1, 2, 3. Hi! How did you know what I was going to say?
I have no idea.
So since Halloween is tomorrow, we both picked out Halloween-related creepy stories that we were going to read to you, and we're going to let you go first.
Okay, thanks. So the story that I found is like a real story that happened a while ago.
Okay. We haven't told each other our stories yet.
So this will be interesting.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So the year's 2014, so not too long ago, relatively recent, like 8 years ago. There's a mom and son that live together in Long Island in an apartment.
Okay.
The mom is Patricia, the son is Derek. Patricia was a professor at Farmingdale State College, which I think from what I kind of gathered is just kind of a small university, and she taught high school students, or people in high school, English so they could prepare for college.
Okay.
So like she wasn't teaching college level students. I don't even really know if she was like a college professor, but they called her a professor. So
Gotcha.
you know.
Okay. Now that the scene is set.
Yeah. Derek was 35 and unemployed.
That's the son?
Yep. Okay. And according to the neighbors, the two seemed like normal mother and son, never really had any real issues. They lived together, and from what they were in an apartment, so like they're close neighbors and things like that. Seemed like there was no real issues between the two of them, just pretty typical. Derek had a few run-ins with the law previously, nothing too serious, but his mom was aware he had some mental health issues, and she wanted to get him some help. She suspected him, between the mom and I believe her brother, his uncle, suspected he had schizophrenia because he said he would hear voices. But he had nothing at any point diagnosed, so they didn't know for sure. However, Patricia struggled to get help for Derek because he couldn't be on her insurance because he was too old, and many psychiatrists wouldn't accept Medicaid. So she struggled to find him a place to get the psychiatric help that she thought he needed. When she finally found a psychiatrist to help him, she was paying $200 for a 20-minute visit.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like, just insane. But she thought he was going to potentially harm himself, so she figured,
worth it.
Yeah, I need to pay. Life. Yeah, like I got to pay whatever it's going to take. So she went ahead, and on October 30th, she scheduled an appointment for 2 days later.
That's today.
Well, this is 2014 though.
Yeah, but like the same day.
Yeah. So on October 30th, she scheduled an appointment for 2 days later to get him the help that she thought she needed. And so that was all set up, but it was ridiculously expensive. Like, just absolutely nuts. That same night, sometime after 8 p.m., Derek was walking along train tracks and was struck by a train, likely trying to commit suicide. And so he had this appointment scheduled 2 days later, and the mom obviously was trying to get him help, thought he was going to harm himself. Right. It is kind of shitty that like they had the appointment scheduled.
I have a feeling that this wasn't himself. I think this wasn't as simple as like him just walking along the train tracks. I think there's something more to it.
Okay.
That's my what's that word?
Inclination?
No, that's my
intuition?
No.
Gut feeling?
That's my guess for what's gonna happen.
Okay. Your deduction?
No.
Your inference?
Foreshadowing.
At the same time Derek was walking down the train tracks, the neighbors noticed a weird Halloween prank near Patricia and Derek's home. In the street, there appeared to be a body face down and some 20 feet away, a severed head. With it being so close to Halloween, Dale Silverman, a neighbor, drove by and said he saw a head with black hair. It was face down and the body laid straight out, and it looked fake, so he thought it was a Halloween prank. When someone finally went to look at the body, they realized it was in fact not a prank, and it was Patricia's body and head.
Oh.
Before Derek went and walked along the train tracks to commit suicide, he stabbed his mom 3 times, cut off her head, dragged the body down the stairs, threw the body in the street, and kicked the head 20 feet away.
Why? The voices told him?
Most likely, no one really knows, because less than an hour later, he committed suicide.
What did he do for that hour?
The train station, I think is where he was at, was a mile away. So it wasn't even, they didn't say an exact time, but like,
so it sounds like a mile away from the mom's body?
Like he jumped in front of the train a mile away. Yeah.
Okay. Does he haunt the train now?
I have no idea. It was really weird. Like, there was very minimal details, but I guess there wasn't a whole lot of police investigation. Like, they clearly figured out what happened, and like from there, like no one's gonna look too deep into it because They know he killed her and then committed suicide. Like, there's
It's
not
like
a whole
an
lot.
open and shut case.
Yeah, and there's no one to ask, like, why did you do this?
True.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like, they did say, like, a few days before this happened, he became more aggressive, according to the uncle, and things like that. And, like, the family tried to urge Patricia to call the police, but she didn't want her son to get taken away and put in jail because she was getting him the psychiatric help that he needed. That's the gist of the story.
Okay.
Okay.
It was relatively recent, too, so that makes it a little creepy.
Yeah.
So my story, let me pull it up. Mine is just a Reddit no-sleep story, so I don't have to put the pieces together. I'm just going to read it straight from...
Okay.
What'd you blow for?
There was a piece of fuzz.
Oh. Okay.
So are these Reddit no sleep stories true? Possibly true? Do people say they're...
People play them up to be true, but you never know because it really is just like a creative writing thing.
Gotcha.
Like a lot of them are what I assume are fiction.
Gotcha.
But they're still really good. So like there's not really a way to know. This one seems not super true, but it creeped me out a little bit while I was reading it. That's why I chose it.
Okay.
But it's not like crazy.
Got it.
It's titled "People Keep Flashing Their High Beams at Me."
This sounds like the urban legend.
It first happened around Wilhelmina Drive. When the sedan passed me, it flashed its high beams. A cop was ahead, or even more likely, a deer. I hit the brakes, scanning the forest on either side. But nothing popped up. No cop hidden on the side of the road, ready to pounce on speeders. No herd of deer staring at me with glowing eyes in the darkness. When I'd gotten about a mile away, I figured it was safe. I pushed my foot on the accelerator and resumed my usual speed. Must have been a herd of deer that crossed already. I turned up the radio. A staticky "Carry on my wayward son" came through. Damn, the reception in the valley really sucked.
What year is this? You're listening to the radio?
Yeah, it doesn't give it doesn't give a year. But my phone's battery was low, and I wasn't about to use up all the juice playing "Every Rose Has Its Thorn" for the 100th time.
That answered my question.
I turned the dial, but the rest of the stations seemed even more staticky. At least I'll be home soon. I was halfway through making a mental checklist of everything I had to get done tomorrow when another pair of headlights blinked through the trees. When it got about 20 feet from me, it flashed its high beams too. More deer? But as I drove through the darkness, I didn't see anything. No cop cars either, unless they were really well hidden. As the seconds ticked by and there was nothing else, no construction zone, tree in the road, or other hazard, my heart began to pound. What was he trying to warn me about? I glanced down at my phone, the screen black in the passenger seat. Is it already dead? Maybe they were warning me about something wrong with my car. Both headlights seemed to be working, but maybe there was smoke coming out of my tailpipe or something. I didn't like the idea of being stuck on the side of the road at 11 p.m. I sucked in a deeper breath. It's probably just deer. There are lots of them around here, remember? The green sign for Edgar Avenue popped up in my headlights and my heart slowed, less than 10 minutes from home. I thought of the fluffy, furry blanket I'd just gotten a week ago, curling up in it, eating some chocolate before bed as Leela snuggled up next to me. The thought made my heart slow even further. My cat, my room, my blanket. Another pair of headlights swung around the bend. As it approached me, it slowed. Then it flashed its high beams at me. My blood went cold. For some reason, 2 flashes seemed to fit within the realm of coincidence, but 3, it's not deer or a cop. It's something about me. Something wrong with the car, or a horrible thought shot through my mind. That urban legend where a girl's driving home late and a truck keeps following her and flashing its high beams. But the trucker is a nice dude, and he's flashing his headlights because there's a guy in the back seat with a knife, and he keeps rising up to stab her. Oh God. Oh God. I turned on the lights and whipped around. The back seat was empty, as far as I could tell. Swinging my gaze back to the road, I reached my hand around the back of my seat. My heart pounded in my chest as I slowly swept my fingers through the darkness behind me. What if there's someone there? I imagined my fingers meeting rough cloth, warm skin, sticky hot breath, the cold steel point of a knife, but they only met air. I breathed a sigh of relief, swished my hands through the air a few more times, high and low. There was a dead spot that I couldn't reach, but it wouldn't be far too small for an adult man to hide in, unless he was some kind of gold medal contortionist. Maybe it's something wrong with the car then. Maybe they see smoke, or a door's ajar, or a light's out. I glanced at the side of the road. There was a margin of dirt between the edge of the road and the beginning of the forest. I could safely pull over and check what was wrong. Then again, what?
Is there a body on top of the car?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Then again, this road was really lonely, especially so late. There were only a few houses on this road, and none that I could see right now. Just thick woods, brambles, and twisted bark that would muffle any screams. I'll take my chances driving home. I gripped the steering wheel. Only about 5 more miles. I again thought of my warm little house and Leela with her fluffy black fur and permanent smirk. A pickup truck swung around the bend. I held my breath. They're not flashing at me. Good, good. Almost home. But then, there it was. Flash. The afterimage of the searing white light danced in my vision. Cold sweat broke out on my neck. Damn it, I whispered. What the hell is going on? Their headlights disappeared behind me, and the darkness immediately pooled around me again, like fluid filling a void. Scraggly, crooked branches clawed at my car, silhouetted by the full moon. The radio played straight static. I reached for my phone, and then I heard it. Tap, 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 coming straight from above me. Something was tapping on my moon roof. My entire body shook. The dark road in front of me became a blur. No, this can't be happening. How could someone even be... I jammed my foot on the accelerator. The speedometer shot to 30, 35, 40. Tap, tap, tap. Without looking up, I reached a shaking hand up to the moonroof. I pressed my hand against the glass. It felt warm, even though it was only 40 degrees outside. What the hell? I couldn't look up. It was just this visceral instinct, like the feeling you get when you know someone's watching you, and your brain is screaming, hide. I bit my lip, staring at the road, waiting for my street to come up. Tap, tap, tap. Don't look up. Don't look up. Don't look up. Maple Woods appeared before me. I swung onto the street, then pulled into my driveway. Without even thinking it through, I swung the door open and ran as fast as I possibly could. Surprisingly, I got in, safe and sound. I spent half the night watching old movies, Leela curled on my lap. I checked the front and back doors and all the windows about 1,000,000 times each. I didn't dare look outside at my car. I closed my eyes, even when checking the front door. I thought I was safe, but I wasn't. Because now I hear it again. Tap, tap, tap. It's more frequent now, more frantic. Coming from right above me, right above my bed, coming from inside my attic. And that's the end.
That's weird.
I want to know what it is.
Well, also, why would you go home?
That was the comments on there. They were like, there was one comment that was like very smart. They were like, this person clearly had survival instincts because they didn't pull over, you know, they didn't stop, didn't do anything, but then they just drove home instead of driving to a police department or just somewhere crowded. Or even slamming on the brakes so the thing would fly off, you know, like it just, they had, their survival instincts were there and then they were just gone.
Well, and like, yeah, let's just stop and sprint in the house. That makes no logical sense.
Okay, being who I am, my mind goes to, what if it's not a human? So like, the second you get out of the car, what if it just like,
well, even if it is a human, it just stabs you, like, shoots you, like, it's very weird.
Yeah, I just thought that was an interesting one to choose because like, there's like, it doesn't really give answers, so you can kind of like theorize and stuff. I just thought it was kind of creepy.
I don't like going to the answers.
Did you find it creepy though?
Yeah, it was creepy.
A little bit. Yeah. So those are the two stories that we chose. Which one did you like best? The real one or the fiction one?
Happy Halloween.
Possibly a fiction one. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
Comment below what you are going to be for Halloween. We're going to be bikers.
Yep. Yay.
So, yay. Subscribe if you want to see more creepy stories or anything similar.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week.